Hello and welcome, fellow bookworms and film fans. Welcome to this week's episode of The Contented Narrative. I'll be looking at Under the Whispering Door by T.J.Klune. Now I did review the The House in the Cerulean Sea, and as soon as I knew that this one was coming out in paperback, because I got the first one in paperback, I've got to get the second one in paperback. It's not a continuation of the first story, so it's not the first story ends and this picks up with the same characters. It's a completely standalone novel. Both of them are. And this one was just as beautiful, just as heartfelt, and I cried at the end of it. I'm not ashamed to say. It genuinely brought a tear to my eye. So good. So basically what happens is you've got our main guy, Wallace, and he's died, and he led what he thought was a successful life. He had a successful law firm. And the day before he dies, essentially he's firing someone because she made one mistake. He doesn't have a personal life, he doesn't have friends, he doesn't really have family, and it picks up with him where he gets taken to one of the crossings. So there's many crossings, and he gets taken to Charon's crossing, which is like a little tea shop. And he kind of decides that he's not ready to move on yet, so he wants to stay there for, to kind of come to terms. And then it's just him realizing that his life before, although it was successful, there wasn't anything in it, that it wasn't substantial. Like his ex-wife, he has a realization that, he loved her and she loved him. And yet because he wanted to push himself and be the most successful person he could be, it just broke down, and he could have worked harder on it. It's realizing that, he's dead now, and all of these things that he could have done, that he had the chance to do, he didn't. And it is just so lovely. It is dealt with so compassionately. It is genuinely just such a sweet story. And you've got the guys around him. So you've got the ferryman, you've got the ferryman's dad, you've got a dog, you've got one of the reapers, because there's many reapers. And it's just them all kind of working as a family. And then you encounter these other creatures that are the dead that have refused to move on, and as they run away they then become like soulless husks, which Wallace then looks at and goes, okay. And it's just a reimagining, and it's just so lovely. I cannot recommend this enough. Every single person that I've recommended House in the Cerulean Sea to that have read it has loved it. I have yet to have anybody come back and say that they have not loved it. And I promise you the same with this book. This book, and I won't tell you how it ends, but you are completely and utterly satisfied when you get that ending. You are sat there and going, yes, that's the ending I want. And it's not necessarily the ending that isn't like that you would have expected you wanted, but it's the ending that you get, and yet at the same time you're like, yes, perfect, this is exactly how it would end. And I give this one a 5 out of 5. If I could rate it higher, if I could give it like a 6 out of 5, I 100% would, because honestly, I got it, I read it, I devoured it within like a day. It was just such a sweet, lovely book. And I'm now looking for all the back works of T.J.Klune to see if there's any other books like Under the Whispering Door, House in the Cerulean Sea, to see if there's any others that I might want to pick up and have a go at. But yeah, so 100% read it if you can. Get it in any form that you can, and let me know once you've read it. Let me know if you have read House in the Cerulean Sea as well. I'd love to know how many people of you guys, as I said, the people that have told me that they've read it have loved it, but I don't know if you have read it and you've not told me, have you enjoyed it? I want to know if my success rate with that book is 100%, because I've never had that with a book before. And I want to know if people are going to love this just as much as I loved it. But thank you so much for your continued support. Don't forget to click subscribe so you're alerted when a new video comes out. And remember to always keep it contento.